All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our special guest. He happened to be a player who played at Mississippi Valley State, but he's currently at a European league. He looks like he's going to get some interest from NFL teams. Let's welcome my special guest, Michael Holland III, man. How's it going?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing? Doing good about yourself?
Oh, doing well, man. For those people who are not familiar with you, man, tell them about yourself, man.
Yeah, so my name Michael Holland. I'm a professional football player. Um, I started playing football when I was 7. That's when my dad got me into football. And then ever since then I just fell in love. My first year I started, I was the fastest on the team. So we did like 100-yard sprints. I beat all the kids, smoked all the kids. And then so my the coach used to tell my dad, like, yeah, like your kid got talent. He just doesn't know how to play the game of football. It's organized football. It's his first year. So my first year I started at defensive end and I showed some glimpse of, that I can really do it. But my second year I moved to running back. And I remember my first carry, I like ran up the middle, got like 2 yards, got my first hit. I'm like, ooh, this is different. Cause I was so used to playing, tackle football, fumble rumble. It's a whole different ball game. You got pads on somebody hitting you, and where I'm from, like Little League was like competitive. Like it was so much talent where I was from. Like a lot of guys that I played with played D1. Like, I know one kid, he's in the NFL, plays for the Bears, DJ Moore. I played against him when I was real young. So so in my second year I had 27 touchdowns. And then ever since then it's just been I just been balling out. Like everybody's like, yeah, your son can really play like little league star. So then went to high school. I was real skinny. I didn't lift weights or nothing. Like I never worked out. Like I didn't like working out because I was just everybody else was bigger than me. They was lifting more than me, and I just felt ah, like I was only lifting like 90 pounds, and everybody else lifting 300-400 pounds. But I ended up running a 4.4 from my high school, laser, and so I'm in the record books for that. Um,
I
and
guess it's like I guess it's like organic for you, man. Like I guess like for some athletes they don't have to lift as much as long as they play the game, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't really get into like working out until I got to like college. Like that's when I realized I had to start working out because I'm not the only talented person. Like there's tons of kids that God bless. So so in high school I was a standout as a defensive back, known for my coverage skills and my speed. I was first team all conference, first team all area. And then they had me ranked as top player in our conference. On Max Preps, you can look that up too. Um, and then track and field, I was second team all league, second team all area, and I was in the record books for the 4x1 and the 100 meters dash. Um, so after high school, I was getting looks from Temple Owls. Um, 'Cause I went to their camp and did really good at their camp, and but unfortunately, I didn't have the grades.
Oh man, those grades is what kind of get you ineligible for some people. Then I'm pretty sure if you would have had those grades, I'm pretty sure Temple would have took you easily, right?
Yeah, yeah, Temple and you know Army, right? Like Army Navy.
Yeah, that's
So that was another D1 school, D1 FBS school that they were actually going to offer me. Like they called me at 9 at night. Like we want you to come play safety, even though I had cornerback film. But they was like, we want you to come play safety with your length and your speed. And it's like, oh, we just need your transcripts. And I ain't hear from 'em after that.
but I mean there was interest for coming out of high school, but then what got you into football was your dad, so he was pushing you into playing football, huh?
Yeah. My dad pushed me into playing football. So after high school, with the I had like schools come in to see me, like D2 schools, and then I went on a visit to St. Francis University, the Red Flash. They were D1 FCS and they were recruiting me heavy. Also, I went on another visit to Wagner College. They were Division 1 FCS as well. So, I had schools looking at me, like small D1 schools, and then the biggest were Army and Temple were my two biggest Division One FBS schools. But so after high school, I got all these accolades and everything in both football and track, but I don't have no grades. So I hit up my OG, my homie Hirsch. He was like an All American JUCO player at Lackawanna College. He was a D2 All American. Coming out of college, he had like all these CFL offers, and then he was getting looked at by like the Carolina Panthers, I think, and the Redskins at the time, Washington Redskins, which is now the Commanders. But he was telling me like, you're gonna have to go to a post grad, you're gonna have to go to JUCO. So I'm like, JUCO. I'm like, what is that? He's like, yeah, so you gotta go there. You're gonna play, but you're gonna get your grades up, and you're gonna be playing against, you 18, you were playing against some big boys. So you've been playing against guys that's 20, 21, 22, 23, still
Yeah.
trying to go at it. So he's like, don't just go in there thinking it's light.
Oh,
And
dude, like going to JUCOs is challenging, especially with a lot of these individuals, man. It's a lot of them who haven't really had a chance to have the. It's not that they couldn't pass or nothing like that. They had to up their grades and do better in school.
yeah,
And the way it was coming into, man, you were probably going into a situation where you pretty much had to cover some of your stuff instead of like how they do in the college programs and all that. Pretty sure it was
ye-
challenging because when I went to JUCO myself, like in junior college, bro, it's a different type of situation, man. Like going from a university is probably cool, but when you go to JUCO, man, it's a humble experience, man. It's more like you got to get your own stuff there. And even for dorms, bro, there's no dorms for roommates and all that. You probably have to just find one of your own or something like that.
yeah, it was definitely difficult. Like oodles and noodles every day. Yeah, I was a oodles and noodles baby before, but like it was crazy. Like I remember one time we was in the it was hot outside, during camp, JUCO during camp, and it was hot inside. Like we had it was crazy. Like I think one time like we had to like cancel practice or whatever because people
The
was
heat.
catching cramps. We was catching cramps because we was in the heat all day, inside and outside. Like they had to buy us like fans. Like it was crazy, bro. We went through some
So
crazy experience.
So, what was the JUCO college you went to? Was it like out of state for you or what?
No, I was in the state. I went to Valley Forge Military College.
Oh, okay.
Larry Fitzgerald went there.
Oh, okay. So he went to that college, but
Yeah,
that
he
was
went. He
before he
went.
went to Pittsburgh, huh?
Yeah, he went to JUCO and then went to Pittsburgh. I don't know his situation, like why he went, probably because of grades. Like, because most of us that I on my team, like we had, like in Valley Forge Military College, we was stacked. Like we had receivers, we had running backs, we had DBs, we had O line, D line, we had quarterback, we had a punter. Like we had like
But
my guy, like hmm?
the weather over there, man. So the weather gets pretty hot during that season over there.
Yeah, I'm in yeah Philly. So in the summer we do got a summer like it get hot, but when it's cold in the winter it get cold
Ooh,
for me. So
man. But yeah, it gets super cold in Philly for sure.
yeah,
But you were going in between, so you were going in between your home state, huh? So it's like
yeah.
challenging to
So
go from what?
yeah, so it wasn't for me. It wasn't like the drive wasn't too far. It wasn't really too far because I'm in the state. So my first year there, I'm like, whoa, like these guys can play. Like I'm not the only one that can play football really for real. I'm so used to being that
That one
standout
talented guy,
guy.
right?
Yeah, and
Because you
then
know
you
how
go.
some people think that just because you're good in high school just means you're just all that, bro. But once you go to the next level, bro, there's everybody who's looking to compete at the next level too.
Yeah, so I get there. I'm like, whoa. I told him, I'm like, it's a lot of DB. He said, yeah, welcome to the college game. And now it's a business. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna fit in. And
So,
so he
yeah.
Mhm.
So, what do you take from just from your high school days from what you take from JUCO, man? What's the challenge at JUCO for some athletes, bro? Like, is it pretty challenging to make the team?
Yeah, it is. JUCO is different because it's a
There's no
business.
walk-ons, bro. There's none of those other stuff that they got to do, bro. They like there's no
Yeah,
handouts for the. You just have to compete for those rosters.
yeah. So you gotta compete, and you gotta think, all right, so when you get to high school, there's no recruiting, there's nothing like that. Everybody's on the team, or some team got cuts or whatever. But most of the time people just be on the team and you just be sitting on the sidelines for 4 years. But in JUCO, they recruiting. So let's say I recruit you. You're a top notch DN. Well, I'm gonna recruit another DN that's just like you, that's better. And then I'm
And
gonna
that might be
recruit,
the guy they're gonna probably stick with. And then the
yeah,
other guy that got recruited, he's gonna have to compete really hard to make the roster.
yeah. So you're yeah, yeah, you're good, but I just recruited 1,000 of yous. So what you gonna do now? How are you gonna respond with that? Are you gonna be like, well, I was a guy in high school. I was a guy when I was this and that. Like, how are you gonna respond? Are you gonna work harder than that guy? Are you gonna show up to film 40 minutes early, leave 40 minutes after? Or are you gonna have a great off season and train 5 times a week, take care of your body, change your diet? Like, what are you gonna do to be able to get that spot? Or are you just gonna nag and complain all day and just waste your 4 years or waste your 2 years at JUCO and not, you know what I mean? Not even just
Yeah,
and be a what if guy. Like, man, I remember when he was so good. He could have been like, you don't want to be that type of guy. So JUCO
y-
really humbles you.
yeah, it pushes you harder. Like you just said, that's what it was with a lot of these guys that I've been around with who actually went to a college university. After that, they would tell me like from right there, man, that they had to work really harder than they would work hard for. But that's like a difficult route, man. Like going from JUCO, man, it's like
It's different. It's hard.
it's a different situation because you're going to have to push a lot harder than you would expect. And
Yeah.
it led you to Mississippi Valley State. What was intriguing about them recruiting you, man?
Well, I ended up doing real good my second year at JUCO, and because I played safety and corner, I ain't give up no TDs, and I think I gave up like the less yards in my conference. Like, I ain't really give up too many yards, and we played a lot of man to man. So Mississippi Valley State, they play a lot of man, and I fit that description. And it was Division 1, so I'm like, okay, Division 1, that's where I want to go. It was full ride, and Jerry Rice went there. So
Yeah,
I'm like, but what really got me is like when I went there and went to my official visit, like when they sat down, was like, yeah, this is official offer. Like, come play for us, get a free education, and we want you to go to NFL. We believe you can go. Like, that was like their, like, it wasn't no, oh, we don't believe. Like, they strictly believed in me. Um, I talked to other schools. I had a bunch. I wish I had a bunch load of letters. I had letters from Harvard, Brown, Purdue, UMass, um, Stony Brook. I went on a visit with Stony Brook with my teammate Teo. That's D1 too. Um, who else did I talk to? Trying to think. I had a bunch of letters,
I
but
mean, you had a bunch of letters even from Harvard, bro. That's crazy,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
one of the
Harvard,
little, yeah.
Harvard, they was emailing me and sending me letters, but then they said, "Oh, we don't take JUCOs." I'm like, all right, but you
Oh
you you sending
man.
me you send me all this stuff, like, I didn't know yet, but it was like, all right, whatever. But
Oh wow, man! They don't take JUCOs, but how the heck are you gonna get some good players over there? Sometimes you got to take some
yeah,
JUCO guys, but I
so
guess Mississippi Valley State was the one that stuck with you, huh?
yeah, so it's crazy because so then I eventually committed to Mississippi Valley State. So I committed there. So I think it was like the end of the school year. I get a call from um was it, yeah, North Dakota.
Ooh,
So
another.
not North Dakota State, but actually North Dakota University. So they're D1 too. They're D1,
Yeah, it's another
and
program too. Yeah, like it's a different one, like a very small school, just like North Dakota State, but a different competition.
yeah. So they called me and said, "Is this Michael Holland?" I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, we watched the film and really like it, and we want to bring you on for official visit." But at this time, I was already committed.
Oh
So
man.
Yeah, it was like, but I was happy with my choice. But they it was like, oh, okay, sorry we got to you late, man, and good luck with your success. But yeah, they had hit me up like later on, like, yeah, well, we want to bring you on to an official visit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I at JUCO, the DB coach, he even told me, he's like, you're one of the best DBs, you know, that we got from first year and this year. Like you definitely got the talent. You just got to put the work in, and so
And it took you towards that program, towards Mississippi Valley State. So, what do you take away from going over there?
what I take is it was a blessing from God. First and foremost, I gotta thank God for allowing me to do that, to be able to go over there and be far away from my family. It was tough, it was rough, going over there, but I was able to get out of my comfort zone, get out of the Philly area and go to Mississippi. You know what I mean? So, because in life, you never know where it's going to take you. It might take you to different places, and you got to know how to adapt to an environment. Like that's something that I'm real good at. I know how to adapt to any environment. I can go to Wyoming, you know, because I've been there and just what I mean, and adapt. So a lot of people are stuck in their hometown, and it's like you got to be able to. How you gonna make it if you just stagnant? You got to be uncomfortable, get uncomfortable, and get out of your comfort zone. So it
Yeah.
taught me how to get out of my comfort zone, and I got a chance to play with a lot of guys from down south. They say down south is the biggest in football. So I played against guys that are Florida, Tennessee, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. So I got a chance to play with those guys and play against them and play with them in practice and test my talent to see where I'm at and I competed with those guys and those guys told me like, man, you really got it, like you just got to work on this and that, but you really got it though, for sure. So
Yeah,
that's that's that's
it's
some-
got to be very challenging just from going from your comfort zone, but then competing with the competition. It's like, yeah, the competition may not be the biggest for other pro level, but it's all about how you dominate that level, you know.
yeah, because the SWAC has a long list of players in the NFL. Like Deion Sanders coached at Jackson State. He ain't coached there. You know what I mean? He wouldn't coach there if he didn't think that.
Oh,
So
he was putting the HBCU on the map, man. Like
yeah.
everything that he put
So
out there was a lot of work, and it opened doors for other guys to coach. Like
yeah.
I think Eddie George is currently still coaching on one of the programs, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah. Like we had in the SWAC, we had NFL teams come to our practice asking for our guys and stuff. We had a corner that was all American, all conference. He was getting looked at by the Falcons. So we had the NFL knows about this. Oh, they know about this. I don't know about any other HBCU leagues, but the SWAC, oh, they know about that. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
CFL and the NFL, they come to practices. They've been to. I'm talking about practices and
yeah, they got
watch.
to look deep in scouting. So the scouting part is the deep part for some of these guys. Like if they're gonna
Yeah,
look for some guys like in later rounds or maybe like day two, if they see this guy's potential talent, they might take it pretty high. But
yeah. They gonna go to those D1 FBS and D1 FCS schools first. Not saying that they won't look at D2. They do, depending
they look at
on
a
because
lot of guys. Like if they see talent, if they see the tape, they're gonna take a chance on him and say, "Hey, maybe we
yeah.
should take a flyer on this kid."
Because there's talent in D3, D2. They're D2 and D3 got a lot of talent, a lot of talent.
Yeah, if I'm
So don't.
mistaken, yeah, if I'm mistaken, I think Deacon Jones went to Mississippi Valley State for a short stint. If I'm mistaken, because I had to look it up, and he went to a different program, but he actually went to Mississippi Valley State.
Okay, yeah.
Deacon
So
Jones was
it's
a DN for the Rams, but he played at a JUCO level. I think I'm gonna look it up because I remember because it says, oh yep, he went to Mississippi Valley State in 1960, and then
yeah,
oh yeah, he went to that program. That's right. So
yeah,
he did go to Mississippi Valley State. So there is
yes.
some lineage. So besides Jerry Rice, it's Deacon Jones.
It's a long list. It's another person. His name is like Rice Totten. It's something.
Yeah,
Some
it's
I
a
think
pretty interesting lineage because,
he's a quarterback. He played in the league. I don't know how long he played, but he
but
played in the
yeah,
league though.
but you got two of the great players at their position. Like Deacon Jones was a dominant force for the
Hmm.
defensive line. I think he had the most sacks when it wasn't when it didn't count as a statistic or something like that. And then
Yeah,
Rice
so
just has the record. Rice has the soul system record, man. Like I don't know if anybody's gonna break it, man. It's like
yeah,
tough.
yeah. Rice was different, man. He had them hills. His I actually met him.
Oh,
Got a
so what
chance
was
to
the
met him.
interaction like? Did he put you in the hill challenge or something like that?
No, we kind of just talked a little bit. I knew he was busy. He's a great guy. So we talked, and he was just telling me to keep working hard. And I told him obviously what my goals was, and he was like, "It's reachable, but what are you going to do to get it?" Type vibes, and told me to keep pushing and never give up, and told me to get on those hills and told me to work, man. He said grind. It's going to be hard. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. But we talked for a good like probably like 10 minutes, and then I just let him go because he had a lot of people like on him. But he came up to me, wanted to talk to me. So
Yeah,
you
if
know,
he takes the time to talk to you, that means you are something. I mean, but
yeah,
it's a good lineage for some people who come from a small college. So like coming from a college like that, man, it opens the doors. I mean, I get it. Some of the players from the HBCU, there's not a lot that get drafted, but it's all about the opportunities for some of them.
yeah, it
And
definitely is.
yeah, and like the most part that I enjoy about interviewing the most is some of the guys from the HBCU, man, because they come a long ways. They come very hard. They're doing as much as they can to get the opportunity at the next level. And it just takes a lot, but it intrigues me on how they go from a small school and how some NFL teams just don't look at them, man. That's just the crazy part. But I know there's some that they do look at, but there is some guys from the HBCU that could play at the next level, but they just don't give them the opportunity. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta know somebody that knows somebody. You gotta network yourself and
Yeah.
get you a certified NFL. It's all about getting an agent because the NFL ain't gonna take you seriously. You ain't got no agent because that's
Oh
telling
yeah.
them like, okay, you're not good enough. No one's representing you, so you got to get a lot of times. These athletes don't got an agent, and I
And
remember telling
it's harder
my
for them to get
yeah,
connections and all that stuff.
I
But
told my one teammate like you got to get an agent, bro. Like you got the good film, but you need an agent, so they gonna take you. They're not gonna take you seriously. Like if I were to text the NFL, they're not gonna. The agent has to do that. That's why you
yeah.
need that NFL certified.
So
So it's
what
it's hmm?
so what do you get out of your experience at Mississippi Valley State that took you to go to the lead, the different lead?
um it just taught me it prepared me for the next level. Like I'm playing pro right now. It prepared me to see like, okay, where am I at? Am I really that person that can get to the league? Like, do I really got what everybody was saying I got? Like it led me to, you know, seeing different things. When you're in high school, like everybody's not really a standout that you're going against. Like you play like what 11 game season, 10 game season, and each team maybe has one player that stands out, but that's it.
Yeah.
But like,
Depends on
but
what
in
place they're at.
yeah, but in college, both sides of the ball is like that. You know what I mean? From the first string, the second string, even the third string is like that. So it made me say, if I can't compete with these guys, I ain't gonna be able to compete with the highest level. So it was the best, decision to go there, competition wise, and outside of football, there's connections as well. Business opportunities and things like that. So it definitely is great to be there because HBCU has a lot of like people that's higher up that's makes a lot of money that can get you a great job to make a lot of money. So it's
Yeah.
always great to connect with people and stuff like that. You never know who can lead you in the direction that you want to go to. HBCU is the right way,
It's
depending
the right way,
depending
man.
on depending
But
on what school you're going to. So
I mean, there's just a lot of them who get overlooked. But I would think the HBCU is mostly just a college for the community, for for the blacks, because I see that they
Yeah.
have their own separate. I don't know why they still have a separate college to this day, but I guess you guys have it differently. But like it seems like they have that for a reason because of what happened in the past years. But it's evolving more, man. It's more equal opportunities. Back in the days, they didn't give those chances to those other guys. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
We
changed
had
over
a
the years.
white receiver. He wasn't like talented or anything like that, but like he like was a workaholic, and he like I think he almost had like 1,000 yards in one season,
But it
and he
started
bought.
opening the door for other races to come around your guys' college. But I
Yeah,
would think it was like a separate college during that time, huh?
yeah, he balled out, and he ended up getting looks from the Saints and the Colts. I remember the Saints and the Colts went to came and talked to him.
Mm.
So
So yeah, like he had to be something talented to go to that college. But so going into the European League, man, what was the challenging like, man? Like just like you said, you had to go way outside the country, out of your comfort zone, and going into a different culture and environment.
um the challenges was like trying to keep up with the culture. Like they did things differently. Like you were allowed to drink out of the sink there. It was like kind of it was like it's like spring water. Like in America, you can't drink out of the sink. That tap water is bad for you. So
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And they foods like there's no preservatives, there's no added stuff. Like there's only just one ingredient. Like they don't add new added sugars and all this preservative and these chemicals. They told me they're like, yeah, we don't do that here in Sweden. Like this is different. In America, yeah, that's why you guys are overweight. I'm like, yeah, you right. And just being over there, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't see a fat person. I didn't see anybody that was big. Um, besides playing football, everybody was like muscular, skinny, lean. They're walking daily, and they always was. They said to be in the sauna and the steam room for 3 times a week, and they said that'll increase your longevity. And they swear by that in Europe. Like they
oof,
do sauna, steam room. They're in the gym 4 times a week. They're getting massages done. They're doing yoga. They're doing Pilates. And they're walking every day. They're walking or they're biking.
man,
It's
has to
it's
be a
crazy.
different challenging over there. But in Sweden, bro, isn't it like kind of cold over there?
Yeah, it was. It was cool. It was so cool. But it was supposed to be the summertime. It was like 25 degrees, 30 degrees, 25 degrees, 22 degrees, 20 degrees. I'm like, man. And then there'd be like one day out of the week, it'd be like 80 degrees. And then the next day it'd be back down to like 25 degrees, 30 degrees. And I'm
So
like, oh man.
so it's rare that it gets pretty hot, but then it goes back to the cold, huh?
Yeah. It was crazy, but they welcomed me with open arms, and it was a great experience, man. It was a great experience. Great competition, great group of guys. And I love the imports that I was with, that I roomed with, because me all the imports that we always was like working out. So like we was working out like 4 times a week in the off season, just staying our keeping our bodies right, sauna, gym, field work. Not doing too much. Obviously, it's in the season, so we're not going crazy, but we're just keeping our game right. Staying on our toes, staying right. And we did that faithfully. I could say that we got massages. Like we took care of ourselves like pros, because we're professional athletes, not
Yeah.
semi-pro where you gotta have to pay for transportation and have to pay. No, where they're actually paying us.
Oh
So
yeah, that's a complete different type of situation because I mean,
yeah,
as a former semi kind of player guy myself, I had to pay for every damn thing, bro. And I only did it
yeah,
for the fun of the game, but for a guy like you, they were paying you to go over there, so that's a big difference. And you were still pursuing the dream. I mean, there's just people who don't realize, man, you might have to go the longer route where you might have to go out of the country or out
yeah,
of this or out of the world, whatever they go to, and you just have to go out there to prove yourself. I mean, there's a lot of athletes that have to go all the way down to the down China or some other different areas, bro, just to compete.
Yeah, just to compete. So sometimes you got to do that, and just to get the film. So it's all about just having fun, getting better, and getting the film that you need. So your agent can shop you around. He got something that he can send around.
Yeah.
Because
So
your film is your resume.
yeah, it is. The film is the resume and the connections you get, but like, so when you were declaring for the draft during that time, there like any interest from NFL teams, or was it not there yet before you got to the European?
Um, yeah, 2020 there was, but it was COVID year, so they really was only going to take like the big time D1 schools and those type players because COVID came. When COVID hit for the players like me and all the other players, it kind of was like a bad year for everybody.
So
So
it was
you
kind
had
of
to,
a hard time. It was a very hard year.
yeah,
So it was a challenging year for you to get those interests, but you were playing at the college level, so it wasn't like it just wasn't quite the best year if you were in the COVID year.
yeah. So you had to kind of like sit out that year and play 2021. So it was a little different, a little hard, but you know, it is what it is. We here, and
Yeah,
I'm happy and I'm blessed. I always appreciated the journey.
the
So it's
journey.
always about it's all about the journey, man. The journey is just, God really blessed me and still continues to bless me. So I'm always gonna appreciate the journey.
Yeah, there's always the journey. There's always the opportunity, but I mean, it comes at some point. But now that you're starting to get some interest from NFL teams or any other lead in general, where are the interests going into? I mean, it was kind of like probably it went from probably not so much to now they're looking at you right now, right?
Yeah, so I'm talking to my agent. We're kind of like low key right now with it. He don't want to, ex- talk about it, but he's talking to teams, and we're gonna do. He's gonna do what he has to do, and I'm gonna do what I got to do. So keep training, and I got a new trainer, and he's well connected with the NFL as well and CFL. So and
Yeah,
he's
keep working
trained
at it.
combine guys. So right now we're just focused on a lot of things. Just keeping my speed, explosiveness, strength, stability, balance. That's important. My hand-eye coordination. I got my DB coach. Working on what we need to work on, changing direction, backpedaling, flip my hips. That's important. Getting in and out of my breaks smooth, not trying to be fast but smooth.
Yeah, play
So
it the right way. I mean, sometimes being too fast isn't always a good thing. You got to have game speed and play it the right way.
yeah, when you're too fast, you take too many steps, and you know what I mean. So we're working on technique problems. That's the biggest thing right now is technique.
Oh yeah,
So technique and just keeping my body right, man. Drinking my water daily,
daily and
and
all that. So
cut the fast food out. Fruits, vegetables, grains, protein. Things that I need. That's gonna really help my body. So that's what I
yeah,
do.
I can understand where you're coming from, but yeah, cutting down on some fast food and all that other stuff. But I had to cut down a lot on the sodas, so it had to be like something like this, which is more
Hmm.
healthy.
Yeah.
The sparkle ice it doesn't taste as bad as people think, man. It's healthy.
Yeah, it's way healthier than soda.
Regular soda,
So
yeah.
yeah,
But
soda is too much sugar.
yeah, with the sugar and all that stuff. But so why should NFL teams or CFL teams sign you, bro? Like you gotta convince them. You gotta be a good seller, man. Like you gotta tell me why they should sign you, bro. Because you're hungry for an opportunity, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I got the size. They want lanky corners, lanky, safeties. I got the size and the speed. I got the vertical 40 inches, the speed 4.4. And I'm a man to man guy, that can travel. Not too many people can travel around and follow the best receivers. That's like a slim chance, to be able to grab somebody that can lock down the side, and you don't have to worry about him. Like, okay, we're gonna put Mike on him, and that's just gonna be that, and then we'll figure out the rest. Like that's something that I can provide that a lot of people can't. And my availability, the best ability is availability. I mean, you're not
Absolutely.
always injured, and you're available. So how can you be available? Well, you got to take care of your body. A lot of
Oh yeah,
people they get to the NFL, they're smoking, they're drinking, they out with women, and that can you can do that when you're 21, when you're 22, when you're 23,
but you got to be more
25.
focused.
Yeah, after 25, your body starts to slow down,
Slow
and it's
down a little
like,
bit. Yeah.
and now you're 28, and you're like, man, why is my body? Yeah, because you've been smoking, drinking, eating fast food. You're staying up till 5 in the morning. You're not taking it seriously. So you getting money now. So what you have to do is you have a choice. Do I spend my money on my football, which is my recovery and things of that nature, or do I go out and spend it on stuff that's not going to help me? You got to make smart investments.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
with me, I'm a smart investment.
Got to be wise on all the other stuff and all that things. But for those people who've been in your situation, what would be the best advice? What would be the best encouraging for somebody who's been on your shoes? Like
I would
if they,
say
yeah,
I would say get closer to God. Read the Bible, get closer with Him, and have faith. Faith is like the most important thing. I remember when Jesus came out and he tested Peter's faith. He had him told him to come out on the water and walk on the water. He saw Jesus standing there, and he was walking on the water. But once he took his eyes off Jesus and he looked behind him to see the lightning, he fell into the water. And then Jesus was saying, like, you have little faith in me. So he didn't have that faith. He was walking on the water. So why did you stop? Why did you look back? You're walking on water. You're about to walk to him. So that line right there just told me to you gotta have faith. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta have you got obviously gotta put the work in for sure. But
yeah,
you gotta have faith, man. When things get tough, you still gotta push through. You gotta have faith. Because there's something behind that door. God he'll break that door open for you. But he gotta see, he gotta test your faith. He gotta see if you really want it. You gotta go through the hard times because it's gonna build you. That's what he's trying to do. So the devil is gonna give it to you for free, and he's not going to tell you what's going to happen when you see some people, they get everything they want and they're spoiled, but then when something bad comes around, they don't know how to react. But
yeah,
guys like us who hasn't got spoiled, who had to get it out the mud, when things get tough, we're going to know that, all right, bet I'm gonna buckle my chin strap and I'm gonna run through that wall because I know I'm a persevere. So
yeah. That's true. Like the way you said it best. I mean, got to work hard for that stuff, and you got to push for it and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, bro, the encouraging message for the rest of those guys who are under those circumstances like you, man, it's to never give up, keep working, and have faith in God, like you said. Um,
hmm
and everything will take care of itself. Even if you had to go into across the world just to
yeah,
get yourself an opportunity, man, you might have to go that route. But if they're willing to pay for that for you to go out there, then you got to take advantage of it.
gotta take advantage of it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's not like you have to pay for it. They're gonna help you, so it's
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna pay for your flight and they're gonna give you money. You're getting paid. You're professional, so they're gonna pay
you just
you.
got to go out there. Yeah, so if that teaches you a message, hey, you probably will be in the same situation as Michael Holland to those future guys, man. And don't ever give up, is all I can say.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And definitely looking forward to your next journey, regardless if it's the NFL or the CFL, man. Just take advantage of those opportunities. And one last thing, man, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience once again, and then we'll end it on a high note, man.
Oh yeah, man. This is Michael Holland, man, aka Channel 24, Lockdown DB, professional athlete, man. I'm here with
CG,
CG Ruthless. You
yeah,
feel me? We out here, man, doing big things, man. My guy doing big things. We're just trying to persevere and give the people hope, give the youngins hope that, you could do it too, man.
yeah,
Whatever it is that you want to do, man, you can do it. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can do it. God put
yeah,
it in your head for a reason. So let's get to it. Let's get
yeah.
to work.
Let's get to it, man. It's an inspiring message, man, for all those people. Don't give up, man, because this man's
Yes,
doing it.
sir.
All right, man. And for everybody else, thank y'all for tuning in.
Sir, man.